Hey there, it's Seb Fry the Realtor, and today I have a different kind of video. I jumped on a Zoom call with Janice Smith with Guild Mortgage, and they have an exciting new program called CashPass. It allows homebuyers to effectively make cash offers on homes. And if you're a home buyer and you are sick and tired of getting beat out by all these cash offers, now you have a very strong, powerful weapon in your arsenal to win those competitive bidding situations. So if you want to find out how you can do that, you got to stick around and watch this video. All right, well, before I get into all that, would you please do me a favor? Would you bing, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to click the little bell to make sure that you get notifications every time I put up a new, fun, interesting, and very valuable video, kind of like this one. All right, well, without any further ado, let's just jump into the Zoom meeting that I had with Janice Smith of Guild Mortgage.
I am very pleased to have a guest here with me today. It's Janice Smith with Guild Mortgage. Her office is down in Willow Glen. I have never worked with Guild Mortgage before, a full disclosure. I got an email, though, I don't know, a week or two ago about this amazing program they have called CashPass. And I am always looking for ways to help my clients make more competitive offers. You may have heard the market is shifting, and changing and all that, but I think that you're still going to find that the best homes, in other words, the home that you probably want, there's probably going to be multiple offers on it, and you really need to be able to make the strongest offer you possibly can. So if you're wondering, hey, how can I beat out all these cash offers? Well, guess what? The folks at Guild Mortgage have a solution for that. And they also have a solution for buying a new house and selling your current house and being able to make a non-contingent offer, which is a problem that a lot of people are facing today. So I'm very excited to have Janice Smith here on the call, and she is going to educate me and all of you about what Guild Mortgage and their Cash Pass program can do. So with all that being said, Janice, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and share your screen when you're ready to go. Maybe tell us a few things about yourself or Guild Mortgage or whatever you want to say.
Thanks, Seb. I really appreciate you having me on your show. And we are really excited about this program also because, as you mentioned, it's deflating sometimes for people. We get them pre-approved, they're ready to go, they know they have their money, and they just can't get an offer accepted because a lot of times the cash people come in, they swoop in, and there they go. They get the home. So Guild has come up with a program, which we'll go over later, and I'll give you all the details on it. A little bit about me. I'm Janice Smith, as you mentioned. I've been in the business a little over 20 years, started off in operations. So I have a good operation background. I'm good with guidelines and all those tricky little things that we run into. Decided that I wanted to make the jump to sales because I love also being with the borrowers, talking with them, getting into homes. And so been doing that now for 5 or 6 years. And I've been with Guild 13 years this month. So as you can tell, I like the company and I'm not going to go anywhere. They're a wonderful lender, been in the business for 62 years. We are a direct lender, so we're a mortgage lender, not a broker. We have multiple programs, investors that we work with and such. So we pretty much can get anybody a loan. And we have, as you can tell with this Cash Pass, wonderful operations that back us up in getting us the best product so that we can help the clients get into homes or make transfers, refinances, whatever they need to do. But really proud to work with Guild Mortgage. So that's a little bit about them, a little bit about me. I live in the Campbell area, so local to this area, grew up in Mountain View, very familiar with our area that we work in. So if that is all that I need to say probably about me, let's get to the big business, which is CashPass. Share my screen with you. and have some slides here with some bullet points. I'm going to let you, however you want to do this, Seb, I can start off with just going over this, or if you have any questions about this, however your preference is.
I think that maybe you just take it away, and I'll put my buyer hat on.
Okay, good.
And if I'm a buyer, and if I think, well, my buyers would probably ask that question, I'll just pose that question to you. And so just go through the material and maybe pause once in a while to ask me, hey, you have any questions? And then I'll know to like ask.
Okay, great. So as Seb mentioned, we know that it's a highly competitive market with multiple offers. The offers well over asking price are slowing down a bit, but I agree with Seb that that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be multiple offers, especially now with buyers knowing that those higher offers that have taken them out are probably going away. This is exciting for them because it puts them back in play. I understand some people have made multiple offers. You can get a little disappointed when you're not getting in. We really want to help you get motivated again and get back out there making the offers. So what Guild has done is we have a CashPass program that allows the buyer to make an all cash offer. The premise of this is that you will be fully underwritten, fully pre-approved with Guild Mortgage, and we will try to close the actual loan prior to having to purchase the home for you. We're not in the business to buy homes, so we want to be able to close the loan for you quickly. When you're pre-approved and we order an appraisal on a rush, it gives us the ability to close that loan in 15 days, which is what we would have the contract written as. If for some reason that doesn't happen, then we come in and we purchase the home. Then you in turn purchase the home back from Guild, which we'll go over that as we go through some more of the slides. That's just a little encapsulation of what this program is. So do you have any questions on that little bit?
Well, let me just see if I can have this correct. So Guild Mortgage is a direct lender. They're a traditional mortgage broker like any other traditional mortgage broker, except they have maybe better operations. I understand you were in operations for many years, so I'm sure that part's tight as a drum. But so they are a traditional mortgage, and they will get you a traditional 30-year fixed, and that is what they will ultimately like the borrower to have, because I'm sure that's going to be the lowest cost for the borrower, correct? Traditional 30-year fixed mortgage.
Yeah, it depends. It cost wise, do you mean paying like points for the interest rate type of a cost, or?
Yeah, basically that, and interest rate, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess a 15-year is going to have a lower mortgage rate than a 30-year fixed would.
Correct, but a higher payment because we're amortizing.
But a higher payment. Yeah. But yeah. My point is that you do have the traditional mortgage loan products that every other lender that you compete with, Wells Fargo or Bank of America or like, whoever else. But what sets the CashPass process apart from these traditional mortgage folks is that if Guild Mortgage is unable to close the loan within a pretty quick period of time, which how long does it take you guys to close a conventional loan?
So I actually have a couple purchases right now that I'm closing in 17 days.
In 17 days.
They were both pre-approved. They both did have to have appraisals. The appraisals came in actually in a really good amount of time, in the 7 to 8 day period, which is what allows us to do that. So once you're pre-approved, and with that with the CashPass, we actually will have all the prior to document conditions satisfied when you go into contract, so that we know that all we're worried about, all we're working on is the property conditions.
Right. Is the asset itself, the collateral, as it were.
Exactly. So I also wanted to let you know real quick, we're not a mortgage broker. We are a direct lender.
Direct lender.
Yeah, yes. We actually service over $60 billion worth of mortgages. So we have a very strong background in that also. But what's nice about us is we do have the ability to broker loans if we ever needed to. And we have a large amount of investors we work with. And you mentioned like Wells Fargo and we have Chase. And so we can actually do their loans too. So that's what's nice sometimes about working with the mortgage lender. We do have a vast pool of options for your clients. One of them, like we said, is the CashPass. So I'm going to move on to the next screen real quick. And we may have talked a little bit about a few of these. It's a conventional loan option, which means we cannot go over the conforming high balance into the jumbo market. So we stay at the 972 loan amount. It's exclusive to Guild borrowers. We provide a certificate that gets submitted that guarantees that Guild will purchase the home for cash if we cannot close the loan prior to the close of escrow date or right on the close of escrow date. If we have to do that, the loan funds, the buyers can move in right away. They rent the home from Guild probably at the most 2 weeks while we finish the process of the buyers now, again, buying the home back from Guild Mortgage. They will have to pay 2 different sets of fees. They will take care of the fees for when Guild purchases the home, and then they will take care of the fees for when they purchase the home. That's a lot of detail that when someone is interested in this program, I will go over with them either in person or a Zoom call, to the extent of where they feel comfortable understanding how the process works. With that being said, I don't anticipate Guild buying a lot of homes. I anticipate Guild funding a lot of homes and people being able just to close as the buyer. We're not in the business of buying homes, but we do want to offer this program for you. And if we can't perform and get that done with a loan, then we are happy to go in, pay the cash, and get the home purchased by you within a couple weeks. We need a 680 credit score. The down payment amount will be based on the occupancy because we can do a primary purchase, a second home purchase, or an investment purchase, and each of those can have different down payment criteria. So it's like you said, it's basically just doing a loan, but with that caveat that you can be a strong buyer with a cash offer to the seller.
Okay, got a question here. So again, Guild, I think the Guild's preference, and I'm sure the buyer's preference too, is to actually fund this whole thing as if it were a conventional loan, but you're going to do it quickly. Sounds like 21 days or less. Mm-hmm. And that if Guild is unable to get your conventional loan closed in 21 days or less, that Guild will buy the house for the borrower, and they will take ownership of the house for the borrower, and they will rent the house to the borrower for not very long. You said up to 2 weeks, but probably more like 2 or 3 days,
exactly,
or some short period of time. Yeah. And that the borrower, because there will be 2 closings, the borrower, the first closing is from when Guild would buy it from the seller, and the second one is from when the buyer would buy it from Guild Mortgage. There will be a second set of closing costs, so the buyer is responsible for 2 sets of closings. Now, you mentioned this CashPass certificate, so I guess that goes like in addition to a pre-approval letter that you would get. But when the buyer is writing out their offer to buy the property, do they check cash? Do they check finance? Or what do they actually check on the purchase contract?
So they would do so there's some caveats to that too, like the way the contract has to be written, because we don't ever want anything to look kind of like a bait and switch, like they offered cash and then all of a sudden a lender came in. So there are some rules on how the contract is written, which gives full disclosure that Guild is, could possibly be the purchaser of all cash. And so the contract would be written that way. I will going to tell you that we just rolled this out. So I haven't done one yet, but I've taken the training and such. And so once a property is identified, we turn that in right away so that it gets reviewed. You identify the purchase price that you want to go in at, and we have a committee that makes sure that that is a viable purchase price, that they're not offering well over what the market is for that area. Unless if the other way is if they do have the extra cash for it, then that's something that probably can be discussed with them. But we do have to get basically the property and the purchase price approved, which will be a very quick process. And then they can go in with the all cash offer. So you know how your client finds a home, it usually will take you a day or two to write the contract for them while you're figuring out what they want to do. In that time frame, Guild will be confirming that yes, this is a CashPass home that we can, go ahead and work with the buyers on.
Got it. Now, this CashPass program is only new to California, right? Because you guys operate in every state or many states, and you have this.
Are offering it in, I think it was 5 states. So California, Arizona, Washington, Oregon. It's the West Coast that we're offering it in.
Okay.
But we're opening it up. Again, it's new. Usually whenever Guild rolls something new out, they kind of have like a little practice pod that they're working on. As a matter of fact, originally there was only a few loan officers that were allowed to do it. Now they've just opened it up to all the Guild loan officers that are licensed in those states.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's a, I don't want to say a work in progress, but it's still, we're learning about it. It's something that when a client is identified that wants to do this, I will have a very in-depth meeting with them so that we can go over everything.
This is a bleeding edge mortgage product.
Yeah, we're doing everything to get people into homes, get loans. So, whatever it takes, right, Sam?
I like it. I love it. I think that, you've been doing this for 20 years. I've been doing this for 19 years. And, there've not been a lot of changes fundamentally in how mortgages are done. I don't think they've gotten stricter rules, and there's some technology which is improved, but the overall process is, the overall offerings are very similar.
Yes.
But this is different. This is actually something that's actually new. And I would like to mention, I think it's a tremendous value add, right? This adds a lot of value in a competitive market. And the Silicon Valley real estate market has basically always been competitive.
Yes.
Even in the REO days, even in 2008, 9, 10, there was ferocious competition for those cheap houses. People get the banks would get dozens of offers on the houses that they were selling.
Yes.
So it's always competitive. There's always tremendous demand, to get a good property in Silicon Valley. You're going to have a lot of demand. And if you want to buy the house that nobody else wants to buy, then good luck to you.
Good luck. Well, and the thing is too, is I don't really know many people in Silicon Valley that think they can make an all cash offer.
Yeah.
And so now we're telling people, and you have people with large down payments, they 2 and 3 and 400,000 because they have stocks or they have whatever, that they're ready to go with. And they're not getting the home because somebody swoops in unbelievably and pays 1.3 million or whatever all cash. And that's unbelievable, but we're offering you to be one of those people now. So I love that idea for people we're empowering them again. I feel in a time where they have no control over what's been going on. So I'm hoping it's going to motivate a lot of your clients too, to want to get out there and make those offers and know that, hey, I'm going to probably be the person that gets this home. So it's exciting.
So the CashPass, has a loan amount of 972, which is the conforming loan limit, but there's no $972,000 houses really in Silicon Valley. So how does that work? So a borrower puts in, say, 600,000, and then you guys come up with 972, but CashPass is Guild is still the owner of that property, even though the buyer is putting in, 40% or whatever.
Well, and that will be part of the contractual, it will be in there in the contract that this home will be sold back to, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer. Guild is not buying the home to keep the home, and that will all be part of a contract. And the CashPass certificate, I'm going to say, I'm sure because I haven't seen one yet, will outline that. So that on a legal standing, they have this documentation that says Guild is acknowledging that we will not continue to be the owner of the home, that we will within a certain amount of time sell this home back to Mr. and Mrs. Buyer.
Got it.
So
Okay.
which is a very good point, because again, that's a lot of money to put down for someone else to buy your home and
Right.
sell it to you.
Right.
Really unfair. And just so you know, we are probably the most compliant company that I've ever heard of in the world. So we would definitely be playing fair on that ground. But let's move on to the next slide, because we'll do a little bit real quick. I think we've probably gone over a lot of this, but this kind of lays out the steps that the buyer applies for the loan and gets approved, and they opt into the CashPass program. Now, that doesn't mean they can't that they can then opt out of it if they find something and they don't need to do that. We will then get them fully pre-approved for a conventional loan with the CashPass option. You work with the buyer to find their home. The committee at Guild reviews the property and issues the CashPass certificate, and we need their proof of funds for what they're going to bring into the deal. The buyers then make that offer. They do not have to have an appraisal or a finance contingency. They are allowed to have an appraisal contingency if they would like to. The offer is then accepted by the seller. We continue to work on getting the loan processed with conditions and such being cleared. And we, if needed, will pay cash for the home if we delay something and can't get the funds, actually fund the loan. They can move into the home as soon as possible, whatever the contract is negotiated at. And then we make the final pass to close their loan, and then they become the owners. So that's a very quick explanation of all this, but that is how the process would work on from step 1 to step 10.
Okay.
This again is only if we have to purchase the home. If we can utilize the funds and fund the loan like a normal loan, then we're done, we're out of it, and they own their home.
Okay.
And
great.
Yeah, we're never on title as anything other than the lender. So you and I talked a little bit about this before we got on here, but I was explaining that there are people in this area that want to sell their home and utilize the equity that they've built up as down payment funds. But sometimes, as you said, they want to make their offer contingent on that happening. So not only can we help you go in as an all cash buyer, we can do a bridge loan for you. And what a bridge loan is that we will lend you the equity on your current home. So you don't have to list your home, be trying to sell your home while you're trying to find a new home. You don't have to write contingent on your home selling offers, which again are not always the most desirable for a seller to accept. And you have up to 6 months to sell your home once you close on your new home. So utilize the equity in your home. Again, maybe you have $100,000 or $200,000. Our loan is $972,000, but you are seeing homes that you want to purchase in the $1.4 million. Well, if you have that equity in the home, we can do the loan and get it for you. And then you can offer cash for the home, have the extra equity to use, and get your new home, sell the home you currently live in, and pay off the current mortgage on your first and the bridge loan to Guild. So questions on that one? I know it can be a little bit confusing.
Yeah, well, bridge loans are super confusing, I think, for most people. So that last point right there, combined loan to value on their current home can't exceed 80%. What is combined loan to value? What's being combined?
If you have a client who owns a home that's valued at 100,000. Their current mortgage, if they have one, and the bridge loan cannot exceed a combined loan to value of 80%. So
Got it.
yeah, so we can go up to 800,000. That would be 80% of $1 million. So
Yeah.
if their
Got it.
first is 5 and our second is 3, then they're good to go.
So in that hypothetical case, let's just say they have a condo right now, nice condo, worth $1 million, and they owe $0 on it right now.
Mhm.
You would give them a bridge loan of up to $800,000,
No,
right?
No, our loan amount cannot exceed.
Oh, $300,000.
I was
Okay.
doing the combined loan value.
Got it. Okay.
Right. So
So
the max we could give is 300.
300.
Right.
Okay.
If they
So then you could
have
take that
one.
$300,000 in the bridge, let's just say, and add it to 972. That'd be 1,272,000. And then you would need another like 300,000 in cash at that
Right.
point to buy like a 1,572
Right.
house.
If that's
Got
what
it.
right. And so the CashPass loan would get them approved for the 972 loan amount. A separate loan is the bridge loan that would be they would be getting approved for that. So they would have 2 loans approved, and we get the bridge loan approved and ready to go. You don't have to pull the funds out. It's just kind of like almost having a HELOC on your home.
Right.
Sense
Yeah.
like you don't pull the funds out, but you have the loan.
Got it. Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
Okay, let's go to the next screen. So the other option that we can blend with this loan is what we call lock and shop. Sometimes people know that, hey, the interest rate is at this point. Right now, I know that I can qualify for that. I know that's my comfort level for my payment. We can offer you the ability to lock in your interest rate. It's good for 120 days. You have to be in contract within 90 days because we need the time to close the loan, obviously. And that way you can keep the rate that you're comfortable with while shopping for your new home. We have what they call a one-time float down. So if in the process of looking for your new home, the rate goes down, maybe by a quarter, you have the option as a buyer to say to me, hey, Janice, I want to go ahead and use my float down now. I like that this rate went down by a quarter. I don't really know that it's going to go down any more than that. Let's go ahead and do that. So we would then lower your interest rate by a quarter, and that would be the new interest rate that you purchase your home with. Again, this one is more of a security for the buyer to know that while they're shopping, they have their interest rate in place.
Got it. Okay. And so there's a fee, a lock-in fee.
Yes.
What's the lock-in fee?
So there's a $1,500 fee. If you look at right now, people are paying points a lot of times to get their interest rate. So the $1,500 fee would be about or less than, depending upon your loan amount. So if you're at the 972 and you were going to pay a quarter in fees, and I'm sorry, I should have had those numbers with me, then you're going to save money by doing the lock and shop because you're going to get the rate you want and you won't have to pay later on down the road, maybe a quarter to get that rate that you could have already had. So it's $2,430 to pay a quarter on a $972,000 loan. If you see a rate right now that you're comfortable with and it's no points to you, basically you're paying $1,500. So again, it's something that I have to sit down with people. We go in depth. We look at what the rates are right now. We talk about if they, in addition to the lock and shop, want to pay maybe a little bit of a discount point to go with it, knowing that, again, you'll be paying less than possibly would have to down the road when rates go up. And you're like, wow, I really liked that other rate. Now I've lost it and I have to pay more for it. So that is what that is all about.
So could I pay the $1,500 and lock a rate now and then pay a point later? Because like later, I'm not sure exactly what 1 point is. It could be that I'm not going to borrow 972. Maybe I'm only going to borrow 872, let's just say, but I'm not sure exactly how much of a loan I would get. So I can lock now and then pay the points later when I actually go to, finalize the loan.
Right. So you locked in at a rate, you paid the $1,500, and then you get a home, you're in contract, and you say, hey, I really would like a lower rate. I would like to pay a point. Is that what the question?
Yes.
Yeah. So in addition to the $1,500, could you
Right.
buy your rate down? Yes.
Yes. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. You can always buy a rate down on the same day of the rate sheet. So even
Right.
if you don't use the lock and shop type of a thing, you
Right.
can always lock a rate in and then down the road say, we do want to pay that half. We want to go ahead and lower that rate.
Right.
That's something you can do.
Terrific. Okay, great. That's cool. This is actually really great locking shop. I love it.
Yeah, another thing. So why Guild? Talked about this a little bit. Deep expertise. We've been in the business since 1960. We know that, like we talked about in 2009, 10, 11, we had a little bump in the road when it comes to mortgages, and Guild made it through. They were not involved in all of that. They're a very solid, I don't want to say conservative, because as you can see, we do some fun programs and stuff, but they're a very smart company. They, like I said, have built up the keeping their mortgages and being the servicer on them so that they can continue to strengthen the stand on the company. We are a direct lender, so we're not dealing unless you want to or have to have us broker a loan out so that you can get a loan. For the most part, we're just the lender, so we're not waiting on other lenders to tell us what you need to do. We have local teams in underwriting and processing, and I have an assistant, Eva, who's wonderful, and she has also been in the business for a long time. So with me, you get a really good team backing you up, not only our operations, but Eva, who's my right hand, obviously. And we have a large array of home loans, and that's what we talked about earlier. So if I would love to talk to people, even if the CashPass isn't what they want, but want to talk about what type of loans out there that might fit them.
Okay. And so your underwriting and all that, is that done here in California, or where is your underwriting team?
Yes, they are. They're virtual. I'm not, well, I guess
right.
Yes. But yes, so they're all in California. They've all underwritten California loans. We're not having somebody from Minnesota who doesn't understand this market underwrite our loans. We understand that it's a different type of a market, and for that reason, I think it strengthens us to have that knowledge of California. Another thing that we do, which I'm always really proud of, is if we have a loan in and the underwriter is thinking this doesn't work with this program that's picked, they get together with their supervisor, and they go on a hunt and they find a program that works for my buyer. And then we get on a phone call and we go over the whole thing. Or if we have a program but we need to make some switches, they get on a call with me. They don't just say we can't do this loan. They find the way to get that loan done. We exhaust all options. Sometimes, obviously, we may not be able to do it, but we never just stop at that first program, that first scenario. Our underwriting team is amazing in wanting to help us get these deals done, and I'm very proud of that. As a salesperson, it's very helpful because you don't have to make a lot of bad calls.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Okay.
Yeah. So I threw this one up here because JD Power, that's a very big honor to receive, and Guild has been ranked #1 in customer satisfaction as a primary mortgage origination company. So
cool.
Yeah. So that always feels good to be able to kind of show your rewards and such. So yeah. And so just one more it's just me and
good
info.
I was going to say, hey, how can people get a hold of you?
There I am. Yeah. So I'm always happy to talk about mortgage, about loans, about programs. I also utilize Mortgage Coach, which is a system where I can send out scenarios to my clients, and they just click on the link and there's their scenario. We can get on the phone, we can make changes live, and they'll see the changes happen. It's a wonderful tool to have 4 different options in front of a buyer at one time. This is very confusing. Obviously, Seb, you and I do this every day. We understand it. We're dealing with a lot of people that have never done this or haven't done it in years. So communication and information is my #1 priority with my clients.
Okay. And so your cell phone where they can text you on if they wanted to would be
Yes.
408-829-0806.
Yes. And that's my
And
preferred call phone too. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're jsmith@guildmortgage.net. And it looks like you have a website too,
Yep.
homeloansbijanice.com.
Yeah.
Janice, I really want to thank you for making the
Thank you.
time to come and share this information about CashPass. It sounds like it's a really cool program, and I think it really could be beneficial to a lot of buyers who are just finding the door shut on them
Yes.
by so many other cash offers, and now they can really actually compete. So that's very exciting.
Well, I am very excited about it too, and I'm really happy that you had me on here to get the word out, which is awesome. That's the best way to get a program moving, is that we get everybody educated on it. So, Seb, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that video, and you might have learned a thing or two, and I certainly was very excited to go into greater depth on the CashPass program, lock and shop, and of course their bridge loan option, which is fantastic as well. That's not for every borrower, but for some people, it can really bridge the gap, as it were, between your current home and your next home. Well, if you've enjoyed watching this video, and I really hope you have, I'm guessing you'll probably also enjoy watching some of these videos over here. These are the most popular videos here on my YouTube channel. And once again, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would really appreciate it if you would. All right, that's all I got for today, but please stay tuned.